It's 12 through 15. I'm glad you're listening, and I hope it helps you for your final exam. What does the term interest mean? That's the feeling you get when you walk into a math classroom. You have interest. But actually another feeling of interest is money that you earn on an investment, okay? So if you put money in the bank, that's an investment. It's the principal you're putting in. So the next one I'm going to say is the money you actually invest. When you're investing, you're actually taking a principal, putting it in the bank, and hopefully earning interest on that money. So the formula used, as we know hopefully by now, is I, stands for interest, equals principal times rate times time. So this question here, how long would it take for you to earn 192? So I immediately know that's the interest. If you deposited, that's another word for putting into the bank, so that's P. And the rate is 8%. So if we use our formula, we actually have a 192 on the left side. The principal is 800. The rate is 8%. So we got to be careful. We always put them in the formula as a decimal, 0.08, and then we multiply by time. Well, if you do 800 times 0.08 on your calculator or in your head, if you can do that, it comes out to 64. So you actually have this left. So then when you divide both sides by 64, you get a time of exactly 3 years. We want to throw our units on there. Time is always in years for these types of problems. All right, so looking at the next one, calculate the interest earned. Again, now we're looking for interest earned. So we are looking for the I. If we put in 100,000, so there's the principal. And then for 6 years at 2.5, so we just got to make sure we put in 0.025. The correct way to get a decimal into a percent is to move that decimal over once, 2 times, and then times 6 years. So this is a straight up, just plug into the calculator and away we go. But this comes up to $15,000 in interest. And on these, you always want to make sure your answer at least makes a little bit of sense at the end of the problem. All right, so next one, how much money did you put in the bank? So that tells me I don't know the principal. So we're going to set up, we're going to set up this problem as the variable being principal. We're going to multiply it by the rate, which is 0.07, and then we're going to multiply it by the time, which is 4, and the interest in this problem earned is $140. So again, we want to do 0.07 times 4, and what we do when we get that is 0.28 times P equals 140. And then when we divide both sides by this 0.28 here, divide both sides by 0.28, you come out to a nice even number here of $500. So if you put $500 in the bank at 7% for 4 years, you will have made 140. And remember, that means you have a grand total of 640 if you're thinking about all this together. Okay, moving along here to more of the simple interest here. Now we start getting something that, we started to split up into kind of a table format for these types of questions. So basically we've been saying that, hey, there's a principal that you put in the bank, there is a rate, there is a time, and then that's going to equal the interest here if you multiply across, if you go across your rows. There were 2 different investments, so that's why we have 2 spots here. It was always 1 year for all the ones we did. So basically, Internet wants to start her own website company. Internet. Okay, I think it's funny. She needs more money though. She will be investing $50,000 in 2 separate accounts, one at 4%, so here I go, one at 4%. So one of them is 0.04 and the other one is at 6%, 0.06. After 1 year, like we said, she wants to earn that in interest. Well, this is money in interest. I don't touch this until the equation for this problem. So now we got to realize she goes into the bank with a lot of money, $50,000. She's going to put some of it at 4%. Some of it. How much does she have left? Well, remember, if she puts $1,000 in here, she would have $49,000 left. So if she puts some of it, and hopefully you can recall this info, but we have $50,000 minus X. left over. Okay, so the interest now, some of you want to think that, oh, well, we got to actually just put the $2,600. That's the total interest on both investments. So what we got to do is principal times rate times time equals 0.04x. Multiply across. And if we have 0.06 times 50,000 minus x, that's what goes in this cell right here. Now that is the interest earned on the second one. This is the interest earned on the first one. Well, hopefully it would make sense that we could add those two together, and that would equal the total interest. So we have 0.04x plus 0.06 times 50,000 minus x, and that equals, I'm running out of room here, but that's where we're going to get that number for the problem, $2,600 from there. Right up here, the $2,600 goes into the equation. That's where we get that. So now I have to distribute the 0.06 through, so just slow down as you do this. So we have 0.04x still, and then when we distribute this first one, we get 3,000. So plus 3,000 times, well, I'm sorry, not times, let me back it up here. I didn't want that. So plus 3,000 and then minus 0.06x. And this is still going to equal $2,600. Excuse me, sorry, my allergies are getting me here. Okay, so now we have to just combine like terms. If you literally take, and I want to show you this, let me pull up this calculator here. Okay, hopefully that'll come up. I literally want you to see this. I have a positive 0.04. And all I'm doing is subtracting 0.06. So you just put in minus 0.06 like that. You don't add stuff to both sides. You literally just type it in. And that gets you a negative 0.02. So I have a negative 0.02x plus 3, 1, 2, 3 zeros for 3,000 equals 2,600. And now I subtract 3,000 from both sides. And what I'm going to have here is a negative 0.02x equals, so those cancel, equals negative 400. And then we're going to divide both sides by negative 0.02, negative 0.02. And then I have an x value that's coming out nice and neat to $20,000. So what does that mean? Okay, so that means right here we put in $20,000. So at 4%, we're going to have to put in the bank $20,000. Well, if we walked into the bank with 50, that's going to leave at 6% $30,000. Let's do the 50,000 minus the 20,000 and get 30,000. All right, hopefully that helped. We'll try one more here. The numbers are a tad bit smaller here, but I'm dividing 500 now between two accounts. All right, so I still have the principal. Let me go back to this color. We have a principal, then we have a rate, then we have a time, and then we have an interest. Great table, I know. Pretty much perfect. Okay, so time is 1 year. The rate is going to be 0.025. Remember, not 0.25. That'd be way too, that'd be 25%. And then 0.07. I don't know how much he's walking into the bank with to put there, but I know he's got 500 total. So x there, and then 500 minus x. Here, we multiply across. That's going to give me 0.025x here. It's going to give me 0.07 times 500 minus x. What just happened? Sorry, there we go. Minus x, and then again, just like the last problem, we take 0.025x and we add to that, and I'm going to save some time and energy here. Watch this in red. I'm going to add this one here, but I'm going to distribute through at the exact same time. So distributing through there, I get a 35 minus 0.07x, and that's equal to the amount in the problem, 32.75 total earned. So I got to put this number and this number together. So again, I'm just trying to show you exactly, we're doing the same problem again, 0.025, and then I subtract 0.07, I'm getting negative 0.045, so I have negative 0.045x plus 35 equals 32.75, okay? And then now, let's go back to blue, I'm going to subtract 35 from both sides. Obviously these cancel here, so I have negative 0.045x equals, and that's a negative 2.25. So when we divide both sides by negative 0.045, divide the sides by negative 0.045, this x value comes out really nice and neat to 50. Okay, so what does that mean? That means $50. So at whoa, I didn't mean to do that one. At I'm on the wrong thing here. There we go. At 2.5%, we're going to make a certain amount, and that's $50. But then the other percentage, 7%, is going to be the rest of the money, so that would be $450. All right, I'm going to do these two problems, and then I'm going to cut this video off here. I think, yeah, let me check to see where that one is. Bear with me for a moment here. Yeah, I want to cut it off after the consecutive integer problem. So here's the deal on these. Find the integers. Consecutive integers, and this is just a recall to what we did earlier this year, but the first one is x. The next consecutive integer is x plus 1. The next one is one more than that, so it'd be x plus 2. The next one is x plus another 1, which is 3. And it just continues. So this is talking about 3 consecutive integers. So the first one is x. That's the first integer. Then I got to add to that the next integer. Well, that's x plus 1. Then I got to add to that the third consecutive integer. So that was x plus 2. And then that equals 198. Add them all up, set it equal to 198. Well, obviously this is going to be 3x when we combine like terms, plus 3 equals 198. And when you solve that, you get an x value of 65. Well, that means the answers to this problem are 65, next integer is 66, next one 67. All right, now I'm going to highlight here, hopefully, what does this say right there? Odd. So you got to be careful. This problem here is talking about consecutive odd integers. So if I'm at one integer, to get to the next odd one, I can't add 1. If I'm at 3, I got to add 2. If I'm at 7, I got to add 2. So I always got to add 2 to get to the next odd integer. And then the next one would be 2 more than that. So x plus 4. Then we would have x plus 6, and so on and so on. So this is just talking about 2 of those. So the first blank would still just be, I don't know. And then I would add to that the next odd integer. Well, that's 2 more than the previous one. So x plus 2. And then we would set that equal to 208. Okay? 2 of them, and they're odd. All right, so then we have 2x plus 2 equals 208. So we're going to solve this, and we're going to get an x value of 103, which means my 2 consecutive integers are 103 and 105. Okay, hope this is helping. Keep watching more videos.